Welcome to our first class of data analysis with Python. Well, this class is mainly the Python basic refresher, and the first part that we're going to cover up are the variables and data types that you can show and also represent in the Jupyter notebook. So without any further ado, let's hop onto our class and open up Jupyter notebook on our device. So as you can see, I have Jupyter Notebook running, and now I'm using, let's say, Microsoft Edge. Another thing that you want to make sure is that you need to keep these open because this is the exact, server that is going to link up successfully onto Jupyter. Okay. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we're going to click on New and IP3 kernel. Now we're going to go off on home. Let's just close off this. And over here, I'm going to click on rename. Let's say I'm going to put in variables and data types. This is the exact folder or the exact name of the file that I want to keep. Now you can see it is going to select up the Python kernel. I'm going to use this always start the preferred kernel. I'm going to press on selected. In that way, Python will always be selected. So first off, I'm going to start off showing you the short and effective style of, using the examples and introduction to the variables and data types in Python. First things first that we need to know about are the variables and data types in Python for data analysis. Such as if you want to know about basic variable assignments, let's say I'm going to put in variables such as a name equal double quotation. Let's start off with Alice. Let's move on to our next line. Now we have that. Now I'm going to cut off this and I'm going to customize this line. Then I'm going to type in age equal, let's say whenever you are using numericals or integer values, you don't have to put in double quotation. In that case, 29. The height of that person is going to be 5.9. And the next one is underscore student. I'm going to put in as false. So basically, the name that we're using is a string. Whenever you are using a numerical, it is known as an integer variable. Whenever you are using, let's say 5.6, or let's say not integer, then that is also termed as integer, but specifically it is known as a float number. And then if you define in false or true, it is known as a Boolean value. Now, one thing that we can do over here is that I'm going to close off these lines, and then I'm going to make sure I put in print, open parentheses, then define the variable, such as I want to print the name, I want to define the age, I want to print out the height, and I want to print out if he is a student or not, is student. Close off the parentheses and hit on enter. Shift and enter, that's all that you want to do. Now, in this Jupyter notebook, you can hit on enter as many times as you want. But if you want to print it out and if you want to hit on enter, press on shift and enter, and you will get the exact result, such as Alice, 29, 5.9, and false. So these are the basic variable assignments that you need to know before starting off anything. And then you're going to learn how to use and import pandas and NumPy, which are core libraries for data analysis. So in most cases, you're going to need that. So first off, type in import pandas as pd, and then type in import NumPy as np. Then hit on shift and enter. And you can see sometimes these modules are not going to be found on your screen or onto your device. Now, it is totally fine if it does not work or if it cannot be, detected on your device. What you basically have to do is you have to import, or let's say you have to install pandas on your device and also NumPy. So first off, that we want to do is we want to cut off this, and here, put in the exclamation mark first, type in pip install pandas NumPy. Hit on shift enter. And then it will be installed. Then type in the same thing and hit on shift enter, and you will not face any errors. So these are like very important for you to import pandas and NumPy because this is, almost mandatory for data analysis. Now, you're going to work with a lot of numerical data. You have to know about how you can work with numerical data. First off, I'm going to create an array. Let's say I'm going to have a sales array. Now, when you are defining a lot of numerical values, now you can see over here, we did not put anything. So first things first, you want to do something over here. Type in the secondary bracket. Now, when you put in secondary bracket, you can use more than one numerical data, or let's say one integer value, such as I'm going to start off with 260, comma, let's say 700, comma, I'm going to put in 400, comma, I'm going to put in 120, comma, and 500. Then close off the secondary bracket. Now, we're going to convert it to a NumPy array. So type in the variable such as sales underscore, and now we're going to turn it into an array. So type in array. After that, type in equal, type in NumPy for NP, put in dot, type in array, open up the parentheses and define the controller of the variable, which is sales. Close off the parentheses. Now you have to perform simple analysis, such as I want to print out, open parentheses, double quotation, total sales, colon, then close off the quotation. Here, I'm going to put in a comma and type in sales underscore array. Put in dot sum as the function, open up the parentheses, close off the parentheses, and close off another parentheses at the end. If you hit on shift and enter, you can see the total sales is this number. Now, if you want to get the mean value, do the same thing, print, double quotation, type in average sales, colon, quotation, comma, sales underscore array, put in dot, put in the mean value, close off the parentheses, and there we go, we have the average sales, which is 396.0. If we want the maximum sale, type in print, open parentheses, maximum sales, colon, double quotation, comma, sales underscore array, dot, max, open and close the parentheses, and hit on shift enter. And the maximum sales is 700, as you can see. So this is basically how you're going to work with numerical data and also perform simple analysis on this numeric data. Now, you're also going to work with string in a specific data frame. If you want to work with string in specific data frame, first off, you have to create a simple data frame. Now, there are specific methods of creating or working with a specific data frame. It could be an external data frame, or it could be an own created data frame. In that case, let's just start off with the most basic and create our own simple data frame, such as name, put in PD, then type in dot data frame. In this way, a data frame will be created. Open up the third bracket, single quotation. Let's start off with the name. Now put in the array, single quotation, as you're working with, variables. So let's say I'm going to put in Alice, comma, single quotation, Bob, comma, single quotation, let's say Larry, comma, I'm going to put in Charles. After that, close off the secondary brackets. I'm going to create another data frame or another category of that data frame, such as I'm going to put in department, colon, secondary brackets. Let's say one is going to be for HR, one is going to be for management, one is going to be for hotel, one is going to be for IT. In that case, we have our department variables done too. Now here I'm going to close off the brackets and the third bracket. Now the next thing that you want to do is you want to initiate the string operation, such as lowercase department names. Start off with data, secondary brackets, and I'm going to put in department lower. So here I'm going to put in DEP underscore, type in lower, secondary bracket, and close off that, put in equal data, secondary brackets, put in single quotation. Let's say I'm going to put in the controller of department, secondary bracket again, Now, all of them are string values, so type in str, type in lower. Open and close off the parentheses, and now I'm going to type in print, open parentheses, type in data. Shift and enter, and you can see sometimes we're going to see an error. You can see this is how it is closing off. I'm going to close this off at the beginning and end, and press on shift and enter. We have this one over here again, which is the secondary brackets. We're going to check out the secondary bracket right over here. Basically, it is totally fine. But here we can see we forgot to put in a comma. So we're going to put in one comma and hit on shift enter. In that way, you can see Alice is for HR, lower department HR. We have Bob in management, Larry in hotel, Charles in IT, and we also have a specific index value. So this is basically how you're going to work with strings in specific data frames. Now, the next thing that we're going to learn is about Booleans and filtering. In that case, let's start off in the new cell. First off, I'm going to have a data cell. Here, I'm going to define the salary. Here in the salary, type in equal, secondary brackets. Let's say I'm going to put in a value, comma, comma. There we go. Close it off. Now, we're going to create a Boolean mask, let's say, who earns more than a specific data. In that case, I'm going to start off with a specific value. Let's say in this case, I'm going to put in high earners equal, and that is the specific data frame. Let's say here I'm going to put in the salary as the controller, secondary brackets, and then put in the condition. Let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we have 7 values, so I'm going to put in who earns more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Who earns more than this? Or let's say I'm going to put in 4, 9. Okay, this is the exact value that I want to put in. Now we're going to filter the rows using Boolean, such as type in first off print, open up the parentheses, type in high earners, colon, backward slash, n, double quotation to close it off, put in comma. Type in data, secondary bracket, type in high earners as the controller. Then close off the secondary brackets and close it off with a parentheses. Hit on shift enter, and you can see some of them might show you off as an error, and it's totally fine. Now, if it keeps showing you off as an error, what you want to do is that it is basically getting the data from this array too. So there are basically 4 people. So here I'm going to put in another digit and try hitting on shift enter. So let's say I'm going to reduce the value over here. Let's say 5,000. 4,800. I'm going to put in like this and put it like this. And here I'm going to also close it off. Let's say who earns more than 499, or let's say 4,500. Shift and enter. And let's say it is still showing me off as an error. After putting in the value, I'm just going to put in S over here, and there we go. We have the high earners, such as the name, department, lower, salary, and the index value. So this is exactly how it is going to work when you are working with Booleans and also filtering. Now, there are a couple of things that you have already learned. Let's just get into the summary, such as integer value, float value, string value, Boolean value. And all of these are Python built-in types. But you can see we also have applied in list, NP array, and PD data frame. These are data structures for data analysis using Python. Now, if you want to connect all of them together, it is also quite simple. Let's just show them all to you in one line, or let's say in one cell. First off, we're going to make sure we import all of these. So here I'm going to type in import numpy as np. I'm going to import pandas as np. Then I'm going to create the basic variable assignment. Let's say employee underscore name equal double quotation. Let's put in Alice. After that, I'm going to put in employee underscore age equal, let's say 29, employee underscore height equal 5.4. Then I'm going to put in is underscore student equal to false. Then I'm going to print the basic info, print open parentheses, let's say employee. After that, I'm going to put in info colon, then put in double quotation, put in comma. I'm going to put in employee underscore name, then comma, double quotation, put in this straight line. After that, you have to put in the age value, colon, double quotation to close it off, comma. Here I'm going to put in the employee age. After the age, put in comma, do the same thing for the next one, double quotation. Here I'm going to put in the height. After the height, I'm going to put in colon, double quotation, comma. I'm going to put in employee underscore. I'm going to put in the employee height, comma, double quotation, this one. And here I'm going to put in the is student or not. It is also quite simple to put in. Just type in student over here, colon, double quotation, comma. After that is student. Close off the parentheses, and basically that's all that you need to do on this line. Now let's move on to the next line, and let's start off with the numerical data analysis using NumPy. I'm going to put in monthly sales equal variable, let's say 250, comma, 300, comma, 400, comma, 150, comma, and then 500. There we go. And put in the sales array equal np dot array. Then put in open parentheses, type in monthly sales. Close off the parentheses, type in print, open parentheses, double quotation, n slash, and make sure to put in the slash as backward and then put in n. And here I'm going to put in sales analysis. After that, colon, quotation, and close off the parentheses, type in print, open parentheses, double quotation, and type in total sales, colon, quotation, close off the parentheses. And another thing that you want to do over here is put in comma, and here I'm going to put in sales underscore array, then put in dot sum. There we go. Put in print, open parentheses, quotation, type in average sales, colon, quotation, comma, sales underscore array, dot, then put in the mean value, then type in print, open parentheses. Let's say the last thing I want is the highest sale, quotation, comma, sales underscore array, put in dots, and put in the max value. That's it. Now move on to the next line. Now let's work with creating a pandas data frame, such as a tabular data frame. So start off defining the data equal pd dot data frame. After that, open up the parentheses, third bracket. Here I'm going to start off with the name, then put in colon. Here I'm going to start off with, let's say, Alice, comma, let's say Bob, comma. Then I'm going to, let's say, first off here, I have to put in quotations. After Bob, I'm going to put in Charles. Now close off these secondary brackets, put in a comma. Then I'm going to put in the department. Then put in colon or quotation close, secondary brackets. Here I'm going to put in HR, secondary brackets. I'm going to put in finance, single quotation. I'm going to put in, let's say, marketing. That's all that you need to do. Close off the secondary bracket with a comma. Then I'm going to put in the salary of each and every one. Secondary brackets. Let's say I'm going to start off with 30,000. I guess that's it. Comma. Let's say 40,000. Comma. And then I'm going to put in 60,000. That's all. Close off the secondary brackets. And here I'm going to first off close off the third brackets and then the parentheses. In this way, this should be done. Now let's do string manipulation, such as making department in lowercase. So type in data, secondary bracket, single quotation, department. There we go. We have department underscore lower. After that, single quotation, close off the secondary bracket, type in equal data. Now define in department over here. Single quotation, close off the secondary bracket, type in .str, type in lower, open and close off the parentheses, and now you have to put in Boolean filtering and finding high earners, such as high underscore earners equal data, secondary bracket, defining the controller as salary, close it off. Now here, which one earns more than 50,000? There we go. Then I'm going to put in filtered underscore data equal data, secondary brackets, I earners, close off the secondary brackets, and then you want to print out the data frame. So just type in print, open parentheses, double quotation, backward slash, and type in N, type in employee, data, colon, then type in backward slash and type in N, double quotation, put in comma, and type in data, close off the parentheses, type in print, open parentheses, double quotation, backward slash, type in N, I earners, type in colon, backward slash, quotation close, comma, and type in the controller, filtered underscore data. That's all that you need to do and put it on this cell. So as we have the value, just hit on shift and enter, and you can see we have the employee info, such as Alice, age 28, height 5.6, student false, sales analysis, total sales 1600, average sales 320. We have the high sale 500, employee data, department, Alice, HR, salary, and all of them. And we also have the high earners, names, department, salary, and also department lower. So in this way, it demonstrates all basic data types, uses NumPy for numerical analysis, uses pandas for string operations and Boolean filtering, and is a copy-paste ready for Jupyter Notebook. And I'm also going to be having all of these, files in my resource folder. So obviously you will be able to copy and paste it and check it out if it is working or not. So thank you for watching this video up till the very end, and hope you understood about everything in this class. If you still have any confusion or any question, then feel free to ask me anytime. I'm always there to help you out. So without any further ado, let's move on to our next class of data analysis using Python.